What does a high microdose feel like? I'm going to share that with you right now on Microdose U. Welcome. I am Dr. Dave.
Enter the world of magic mushrooms with Microdose
Hey there, how are you? Welcome back. I really appreciate you being here. First of all, thank you so much for the rates and reviews on Spotify and Apple. And yes, it is true. The Spotify people are definitely going wild and catching up. So if you can still take a few seconds, if you haven't done it yet, rate or review my show wherever you're listening or watching. I really appreciate it. It helps the show. And what that means is we just get the word out to more people and help more people all over the world because we are a force. Nakama, I love you guys, and I just want I do everything I can for you. Go ahead and rate and review if possible. Even just rate. If you just rate it 5-star, it takes you like a fraction of a second. So, okay, let's get into today's show. I have something to share with you that is going to reveal my flaws. Here I am. I mean, look, I do this show. I put out 2 episodes a week every week, and I've been doing this for the past like at least, well, I don't know, like 2 to 3 years. When you get down to it, I'm a regular person, just like you. I am a regular person. Like I say, sometimes I might be a little bit ahead of you on the timeline as far as getting to this, making it work for me, but still, I'm a regular guy. And tonight I really screwed something up. It's not terrible, but what I had a really good idea for a podcast. I mean, something that I've wanted to share with you, and I had time tonight to go into my studio and do this. I turned on my, my laptop and my microphone and everything I've got, everything I've got here in the studio to get going on the show, and I like totally screwed it up. I was like I wasn't making sense. I was all over the place. Um, I was I got to a point where I didn't even know what I was going to say. It was awful. But here's the reason. I made a big mistake. So early, I say late afternoon, I did my microdose, and I usually do it in the morning. But for some reason today, I don't know, I didn't, and I just wanted to get one in, and so I did about a um 200 milligram microdose of magic mushrooms. And so, of course, that is zero point 0.2 grams. By the way, you guys should be able to convert back and forth very quickly, very easily without even thinking. You should be able to do that. So, zero point 0.2 grams, how many milligrams? 200, right? And so it's a mid to high microdose. It's not a low microdose, but it's not anything crazy whatsoever. Sorry, here I am drinking tea with you while we talk because we're just chatting. I got to tell you this story. So a little bit later, what I do sometimes in the evening, if I'm relaxing and want to listen to some music or something, or just kind of chill around the house, sometimes I will do a little bit of a cannabis gummy. I'm done with smoke. I'm done with any kind of like inhaling anything in my lungs. My lungs are too precious, and I don't know. Like I would very rarely use a vape pen, very rarely, but it got to the point where a few weekends ago I tried a vape pen again, and I think it really just irritated my lungs, and I just don't need that. I'm done. So what I did, I ate about 7.5 milligrams gummy of sativa, which is kind of energizing, and I love it. It doesn't put me to sleep, but I can sleep if I need to. But it's just a really nice, energetic feeling hanging around the house in the evening, listen to music, doing work, reading, watching a video, whatever it might be. It's great. But I had forgotten that I took the microdose a short time before that. I just totally forgot. Now, neither of these doses are like 200 milligram microdose is not really, it's not going to do anything. You can totally function under that. And same thing with, everybody's different with cannabis. Some people tell me if they do 5 milligrams, they're like basically tripping on cannabis. And other people, can do 10, 15, and 20 or more milligrams. And that's kind of like their regular dose. So put it in perspective. 7.5 is not a large dose, but it's not tiny, but it's not large at all. So I ate this gummy and I forgot that I had microdosed the mushrooms, and in about an hour or something, this like hit me like wham, like something's going on here. And like I just said, either one of those on their own probably wouldn't have done that much. 7.5, I'd be nice and relaxed, but combine that with the because I forgot that I microdose, combine the two, and they're synergistic, and they kind of elevate the level of each other. So it feels definitely more trippy than just cannabis, and it feels like, a little bit of a cannabis high as well. So here I am opening up my microphone and turning on my mixer and my laptop and getting ready to speak to you. And I wasn't making any sense. So I kind of closed the laptop up, said, I can't do this tonight. Went downstairs. After about 30 minutes, I just had this idea. I said, I'm going to just look, I'm not going to waste the evening. I'm going to share with you my nakama. I'm going to share with you what it feels like exactly to go ahead and dose 200 milligrams of mushrooms and then about 7.5 milligrams of cannabis sativa. It feels really good, actually. It is like, okay, so I don't really drink alcohol. Like, I'm not against it, but I just don't like it. Just very rarely. I might have a couple of drinks a month, and that's if I'm having dinner, maybe, and somebody has sake or something like that. I mean, I might have it, but I don't like alcohol. I just don't like anything about it. I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it makes me feel particularly good. It makes me fall asleep. I just this Okay. Have I proven my point? I don't like it, but I do enjoy cannabis, and I do enjoy edibles because it's a really, I think it's a really good mellowed out feeling. And it's very rare that I would ever do cannabis during the day. That would be very rare. But in the evening, just hanging around with no responsibility. Like, I wouldn't drive with it. But if I know I'm going to be hanging around my house, no responsibility whatsoever, and do whatever I want, yeah, I might do a little edible. Sure, why not? Why not? But the two together, I didn't expect. I didn't remember I did that, and I didn't expect. Wasn't prepared for this kind of evening. And like I said, how do I feel? Well, I wouldn't want to drive at all. I can hold a conversation because I'm talking to you right now, and this is the real me. So, and I'm talking to you, and I can. The problem is, about an hour ago when I started tried to start the other podcast, I really couldn't. It's not that I couldn't talk; it's that I really couldn't have a consistent thought running through my mind. Like, it would just go away and it wouldn't come back. It was just very weird, very weird. But so, having kind of like gotten myself into this, I'm riding it out and enjoying the heck out of it. So why am I actually podcasting about this? Because so many people ask questions. Well, like, what does this feel like, or what is a large microdose feel like? What does what does it feel like if you combine the two? What does that feel like? What will it do to you? Well, can you function? Can you drive? Can you work? Can you do some work? Can you do business? Okay, like I said, definitely do never drive when you're impaired in any way. Never drive. It is not worth it. It's stupid. You can not only harm yourself very seriously, but harm other people very seriously. Just never even consider it. Always take a Lyft or an Uber or get somebody else to drive you. So even with this small amount, don't drive. Never. Now, can you drive with a microdose, just a microdose of mushrooms? Well, yeah, but remember, I always teach you to, for the very first time, whenever you take your dose, to always test it out at a time that you don't have any responsibility and don't have to drive. So let's just say you're doing 150 milligrams. I'm making this up for the very first time. Your very first microdose ever. You don't know what it's going to feel like, even though you can function on 150 milligrams, and people, go about their days all the time. If it's your first time, test it out. Just stay home. Don't have any responsibility. Don't drive. And then you're sure the next time, if everything went really well and you didn't have any type of, high feel, because with a microdose, remember, you shouldn't have a high feeling. You should feel a difference, but you shouldn't feel high or stoned or trippy or anything like that. You shouldn't. So after you've tested it out, yeah, that's totally fine. Then drive. But when you do a combination like this, no. And also, even with just 7.5 milligrams of cannabis, I would not. I absolutely would not drive. I just would not. It's not worth it. You don't do it. It's not smart. But here I am, hanging around my house, broadcasting, talking to you. Am I recommending this necessarily? Not necessarily, but it is. If you're looking for a fun evening, it is a good level. And also, I think you can also go and remember, I'm not one that parties with. I'm not a partier. I don't just go out and get stoned just to get stoned. I always use it for a reason. Sometimes the reason is relaxation, but other times the reason is because I want to go. I want to go a little deep. I want to think something. I want to figure something out. I want to listen to certain music very deeply and really understand it more than I ever have. I want to think about my life and come up with goals for the future. See, there are a lot of really valid reasons to use plant medicine like this. And this is what I do. I never say, never, I just want to get stoned and just lay on the sofa. Some people might like that. And I'm not saying you can't do that, but I don't really do that. I always I always dose for a reason. And again, with magic mushrooms, when it first started, it was absolutely 100% to take care of my depression and anxiety. But that's fixed. It's gone. I'm rewired. So I'm using the plant medicine for other things in my life to dive deep into my life and figure things out and get better at things. I actually had the best ski season I've had in years, I think, because like I think I've told you maybe in the previous episode, even the magic mushrooms, they allow you to evaluate your life the way you never have. And I've evaluated my health and worked on my health. And I'm doing things now as far as my eating, my exercise, my supplements, my sleep. I'm doing things that are making me much healthier. So along with the microdosing, the skiing, I've taken it to like a better level now. At my age, I'm better than I've been in years, and more confident, and I don't tire out. It's wonderful. So yeah, there are so many uses for this plant medicine. I just don't say, oh, I'm going to get stoned tonight, man, because there's nothing else to do. I would just want to get stoned and lay on the. No, I don't do that. I use it to improve my life on so many different levels now. That's what I do. And I feel this was the gift from the universe because again, I started off with another totally different topic. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't speak right. So I just lay low for 30 minutes, whatever it was, 30, 45 minutes, whatever it was, I'm not sure. And I came back and I said, I'm just going to share with them. I'm going to share with you what this really feels like and what it can do to, I would say, change your life. I would say that. So I hope this helps in some way. I mean, if this didn't make any sense at all, then I apologize, and I want you to write to me and email me. Don't lower my ratings and reviews. Don't do that. But just write to me and say, Dave, this was you should not have recorded when you were in this situation because it was a total waste. Now, I want you to tell me that if it's true. But on the other hand, if you think this episode kind of came out of nowhere, but actually, we don't believe that it came out of nowhere because I always believe that the mushrooms guide me in a direction that they think I should go or that I think I should go, but maybe I don't realize it. That may be a better description. They guide you to where you should be going. Whatever stage you're in, if you're in the very beginning stage and you want to ditch this depression and anxiety, they will guide you. They will do it for you. But now they've guided this episode in a totally different direction, which I hope I helped you. I feel really, you feel it. Do you hear my voice? I feel good about this now. When I turned this microphone on at the beginning, I didn't even know what direction it was going to go. But we got into a lot of different topics along the same subject matter, but kind of switched topics a little bit, getting into even, microdosing, just magic mushrooms, and what everything can do for you. Okay, I think I've gone on long enough. I do want to share with you again, if you're still with me, I really, really appreciate you. And I want to let you know that please check out the show notes. I've got some really good links in the show notes, as well as my website, microdoseu.com. And I can always be reached. You'll find me. We've got great one-on-one sessions if you want to get involved with that. Just so many good things. Patreon page, it's all in the show notes and on my website. But if you want to help support the show a little bit, get on Patreon. I give you some extra material. It's having such a good time over there. Patreon Nakama. Yeah. What do we call it? Patreon not special, that's not the word. It's I can't remember right now. But it's higher level. What's it called? Now it's killing me. But I'm not gonna worry about that now. Okay, I'm gonna end it, guys. I really hope you like this episode. I was just going off from the top of my head, sharing true life with you. That's what I do. Okay, Dr. Dave, this is Microdose U. I love you. See you next time.